everybody gets the quick. There we go. Sorry. Okay, it's okay. Everyone gets the Quick Start Nutrition Guide. I love this book. I know it might feel like, oh, more work I have to do, but honestly, I feel like the biggest thing is people are always saying, well, I don't really know what recipes to make or where to start. Go here. Have awesome. It's in your hand. It's right here, especially Shakeology, how to do it. It'll tell you how many, ideas for calories and brackets you fall into. So even if you're not techie or you don't want to really have to do a lot of work, grab this. I know you guys have it in your home, and that's really helpful. And pen to paper, you can either track your food on this book, whether you're doing Portion Fix or To Be Mindset, doesn't matter. Pen to paper works. Or in the BOD app, you can track your food. So just want to say that before we show you what's like physically in the app that you guys all have. Are you logged in, Kel?
Yeah, it's just for some reason thinking.
Oh my God, why is the internet doing this today? Well, that's fine. The other thing I want to share with you guys is just how important it is to feel like you're going to be successful at this without having to overwhelm yourself. Because I think that the biggest disconnect that people look at the containers or even look at the To Be Mindset videos and they start to panic and think, this is so scary. I just can't do it. I'm going to fail at it. So therefore I won't even try. And if you just try a little bit day by day, it's going to eventually get a little easier and eventually become second nature, and it will fall into place. So take that fear or the stress that you might feel like it creates for you and put it aside and just say, let me see how well I can do today. And don't panic. Don't feel like you have to have the entire 7-day week prepped and planned. That's not how I am. I know it's not really how Kelly is. We do a couple days at a time. And we also look at what's happening in our life. And that way we know, do I need to have dinner made in the crock pot, tomorrow morning for Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday? That's easy. I can do that. But maybe Wednesday, it's a sport night and we're not even home. So I will plan to go and pick up some food. But because I'm on the plan, I'm going to make sure it's a place I go to that maybe it's Chick-fil-A, but I'm going to order the salad and I'm going to get the cheese on the side and the grilled chicken, not the breaded chicken. And I'm going to pick the options that are going to serve my meal plan better than just like the fries and the sandwich. You can totally still eat out and be on the go doing both of these plans. So when you're logged into the app, I love that you guys can see here two things. There's the search bar. So for example, I'm going to have Kelly do the search bar to make it really easy for you guys. If you go in there and you type in Portion Fix, then it's going to pop up with a lot of things related to Portion Fix. You can do this again, Portion Fix, To Be Mindset. So we're going to see what pops up. And again, the search bar is your best friend. So if you're like, meal plan or recipe ideas or plan A, plan B, or To Be Mindset bunnies, put it in the search bar. It's going to help you find what you're looking for a little quicker. So here we are. Everyone should have access to Portion Fix. And if you click on Portion Fix, which is that video with Autumn, and it's been redone. So those of you who are familiar with Ultimate Portion Fix, what they did is they really condensed the content, the videos, and streamlined it so it's a little less overwhelming. And I think it's really a really well done plan. So if you go in there, I always want everyone, whether you're on Tubi or Portion Fix, start with the first video. So as you can see, there's an intro video. If you haven't picked the program you want, you're going to want to just watch both and see what feels best for you. But what I really want you guys to see is that for most of us, we're going to follow Foundational Fix, which is just using the containers throughout the day. And if you go into right there, I think you're on it, Kelly, the program, or I can't read it, so small. There's the videos. Okay, that's what we want to do. We want to see the fast track to fix. That's how you're going to use it. She's going to walk you through it. So for the sake of time, we're not going to dive into every video with you, but anybody who says, I don't know where to begin, this is where you begin on both programs. And what I want Kelly to do is just open up, I think it's either like the first or second video where you can see it says PDF is available. If you click on one of those guys, click on PDF. And I love that you guys are going to see there's physical papers that you can print, which are going to help you in your journey. There's food list, there's grocery list, there's this booklet, which is showing you all the things that you want to know, especially how to calculate your bracket, how to know what meal plan should you be eating in, how to even take your measurements. So I want you guys to really pay attention to the PDF factor. That food list right there is your best friend. And what I like to do personally is, because I'm a very much on my phone on the go person, is I open this app on my phone. I go to these specific documents that I know are going to help me, and I screenshot them. And then I have them for quick and easy reference. I'll make a little folder on my phone that says Portion Fix or To Be Mindset. And that way, if I'm at the grocery store and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I meant to buy that fits in like the yellow containers for carbs? I don't remember. Quickly go to my phone, pull it up. Or what veggies or fruit should I be eating? So I love it for that. And I just think that this is so key. And if you are also a breastfeeding mom, or you're coming into that stage of life, maybe you're about to have a baby, there is a Portion Fix for pregnancy, for breastfeeding, and for weaning. This is amazing. I'm not going to take the time here, but again, that search bar, if you simply put it in the search bar, it pops right up and it's amazing. You're going to be so happy that you have access to this. Or if you know a friend who wants to do this with you and they say, oh my gosh, but I'm breastfeeding, or I'm about to have this baby, I can't do that stuff because I won't have milk. Yes, you will. It's all done there for you. And then I just want you guys to know a couple things. Intermittent fasting is new. It's been added to the Portion Fix wheelhouse. Love this video. Kelly's showing you guys where it is. It's very short and simple. I think we all imagine that intermittent fasting is some really crazy scientific hard thing to follow. She breaks it down. It's very simple. In a nutshell, if you're going to do it the most simple of ways, it's going to have you eat dinner and not snack after dinner, have your water, go to bed, wake up, and have breakfast. That's how simple and easy intermittent fasting can begin to be for you. But listen to her video, look at the documents, and you can decide if that's something you want to add in, especially if you've been doing all these things for a while and you're feeling like shaking it up. That's a great thing to add on. It's very simple and it's really not that hard to do. Kel, do you want to move over to Be Mindset and show them some of the things in there?
Yeah. And then, really quick too, I know Kim said we can go in the search bar. That's really good to know. I don't use that probably enough, but I usually just go to one of these tabs. So here, as you can see, like, actually, can you get there from nutrition tab? I usually just go on Beachbody On Demand and go to programs, but here we are. So for example, let's say this is where you guys are going to find not only your workouts. So hopefully you've decided which program you're going to follow for the workout. I know I said fitness is optional. So if you already have your regimen, that's fine, but you do have access to our library of workouts. And this is also what it looks like. So I typically say, hey, since this is 3 weeks, why not choose a 3-week program? Because that way, you just have 3 weeks to go all in with your nutrition and your fitness, and you are going to see results. So a lot of people go with the regular 21-day fix, kind of depends on where you are right now on your journey, or the 21-day fix extreme. There's also Muscle Burns Fat, Muscle Burns Fat Advanced. Those are all 3-week programs. But I wanted to show you guys, so this shows you all the workouts, right? Then you go all the way down, and here's where you have nutrition centers. So you can get to the Portion Fix from here, or you can go to, To Be Mindset, whichever one you're following. So since we just showed you Portion Fix, we're going to head on over to Be Mindset. And sorry, I don't know why it's kind of slow. It's probably because Nick works out of our garage for work and he's on his computer too. Okay, so this is a huge one. So when this first launched, you guys, To Be Mindset, and it looks like a lot of you have chosen this one. I have to say, one, I love Ilana. If you go to her Instagram, you will want to go to her Instagram. She shares a lot of great tips there as well. But one thing that I found to be so helpful with this program, and I will still utilize it, even though I'm following Portion Fix now. I decided I'm going to do Portion Fix for the next week and a half before we have our trip coming up. But just some of the principles, for example, water first, veggies most, 2 hands on the wheel. There's after dinner and done. And there's just a few things that you'll learn from her principles where it can stick with you. Like, okay, you know what? Water first. I'm about to eat my meal. Have I had any water yet? No. Go have at least 5 to 10 ounces of water before you eat. That will get you a little bit more filled up. And then you're not going to be sitting there devouring your food. So there's a few things that I love about her just her mentality and the way that she teaches. It's different from Portion Fix, of course, but you guys, she has a lot of great hands-on videos where she's showing you new ways to look at food groups, new ways to, you know, what kind of proteins you should be buying, the good carbs. I think this is where a lot of us personally, I don't want to say mess up, because you know what, if you do, there's no such thing as failing. Only if you quit. That's when you fail, right? But there's times when you might have to like fail forward and trial and error and learn as you go. So I just think a lot of people think like they're eating healthy and then they're having white starchy rice or sourdough as their toast in the morning. Or, you know, like I know there's little things that you're like, I don't want to give up my baguette that I have, you know, every Saturday morning with your family. Okay, fine. Make that your thing on Saturday morning. I have pizza once a week. That's fine. I know that I'm going to have pizza once a week. And that is how I want to fit that into my life. But I also know that I can have healthier options, the other meals, and make those small tweaks to make my meals a little bit healthier and not full of just wasted calories. But here's a good, I would say, you know, obviously there's a lot of videos, but as you can see, a lot of them are 5 minutes, 4 minutes, not very long. And so if you are doing To Be Mindset, please, even if you're starting over, like maybe you've done this in the past and you're like, well, I know what I need to do. No, maybe you need just that reassurance that, all right, this is what I need to do. Maybe I just need to relearn it again. And you can listen to all these videos from the BOD app. You don't have to be on a computer. This is just the easiest way for us to show you guys. Okay, so to learn more about the program, recipes, resources, anything you want me to go over here, Kim?
Well, I just think, like you said, I think people come to us often and say, I don't know how to do the meal plan, or I'm not losing weight. And it's just so simple. We can bring you to the water, but we can't force you to drink. This is it, you guys, it's right here. So as Kelly said, watch the videos again and make sure that you either print out some of the PDFs that are relevant to you and start to track your food. I think that is so key. So, I don't know if we can show it actually on here. Probably not. I'm pretty sure it's just on the app. But when you guys open up the BOD app to be in our group that we all just started today, make sure you go to the very bottom of the screen where it says tracking. And that is where it allows you to select To Be Mindset or Portion Fix. And every day, you guys, every single one of us, me and Kelly included, because I know we're squirrels and we always are like, oh, I ate this, I had this, I'm on track. We don't know what we're doing. We're going to track our food in the app, whether it's Portion Fix, containers, or To Be Mindset. And by tracking your food, you are going to get 10 times better outcomes and progress because you're actually intentional with your food. So I'm pretty sure Kelly's showing you like what her group looks like. I don't know if you can see it on the desktop. I think it could just be in the app. Does it show up there? If not, the other thing I want Kelly to show you here is that we have a files tab in all our BOD groups. So you're going to always want to check our files, and you guys are going to see normally it's going to get uploaded. I know for me, it's going to be uploaded later today. I'm sure for Kelly as well, but so hard for me to see on the screen. You can see that we're going to be having weekly meal plans that are just bonus content for you guys. So if you're stuck, go back to our files, go back to the videos, go back to the the PDFs. But more than that, I also want to just bring in a couple things of how we just implement really quick and easy food tips and hacks that we use in our day-to-day life. If you follow Kelly on Instagram, I know I have been, you know, she's my coach, she's my friend, but I love seeing her stuff of her mason jars and the way she'll prep some food. So in a minute, I'll have Kelly talk to you about that. But here's something I do. I have my individual Shakeology packets, which I know you guys can pick to have, you know, the big bag if you buy Shakeology, or you can opt for the smaller packets. The reason I have that is twofold. Number one, I can throw it in my bag if I'm on the go and I can take it with me to work, or even if I'm traveling, I always have these. So if you're stuck and you're like, I'm not using my supplements often enough, maybe it's just because they're not easily accessible. Opt for the things that come in individual size packets because you're more likely to make use of it. So I always do that. Same thing with Bevy comes in the packets like this. And yeah, Lynn keeps it in her car. Same with Beach Bars, you guys. I'm going to stress this, really strongly urge you to get at least 1 or 2 boxes of Beach Bars to take you through the month, because they fit into the container system unlike any other protein bar that you can go find. I used to buy tons of protein bars and be stuck on what does this fit in, and it frustrated me in the plan. So knowing that Beach Bars have a container count and they're yummy and they're vegan if you need that, and they're high protein and low sugar, and they check all the boxes, to me that is super key for a snack on the go. And then some other things I like to do, and if you want to grab a pen and paper, you can. It's super duper simple. I encourage you to pick 4 proteins that you like to eat, not proteins you think you protein you actually enjoy eating. For me, it's going to be chicken tenderloins, ground beef and ground turkey, tuna, and eggs. It's that simple. And what I'll do on a Sunday or a Monday is I will take those 4 staple proteins and I will cook them. Okay. So I might be spending an hour in the kitchen, but I'll take the tuna, I'll mix it up, and I'll put a little mayo, some seasoning, and it's in a Tupperware in my fridge. I will hard boil 8 eggs. I will have them ready to go in my fridge. And if I want to be even more dialed in, I'll peel them a day ahead and put them in Ziploc bags. So as you can see, I'm setting myself up to have grab and go, ready to go items for protein. Chicken tenderloins can be ready for a salad in the day, a stir fry in the night, tacos. There's so many ways you can use it if it's just ready and cooked. Same thing with ground beef. You can throw it over spaghetti squash. You can put it over pasta. You can put it in tortillas, brown rice, a salad. So I encourage you to write down 4 proteins. Doesn't matter if you're vegan, vegetarian, or not. You can find your 4 proteins, going to the list and prepping those. By doing this, you're going to set yourself up for protein success. Second to that, fruits and veggies. Take a look at the list. Autumn always suggests you pick from the top of the list. Those are your best choices. The bottom of the list are a little less favored, not off limits, but move things around if you're feeling stuck. Go to the store, and again, stick with 4. I like the rule of 4. 4 fruits, 4 veggies. Bring them home, wash them, portion them if you're using containers, and just in your fridge, ready to grab and go. So I'm not meal prepping. I'm meal prepping, but I'm not doing those like boxed containers and making every meal exactly the same and being like 100% on track. What I'm doing is I'm allowing myself to have options, variety, but knowing I'm set up for success. This will help you a ton with kids' lunches, no matter how old your kids are too. When I have the fruits ready to go, my kids end up with more fresh fruit in their lunch boxes than if I don't. And same thing goes for your carbohydrates. I think, like Kelly said, we sometimes get stuck on thinking, oh my gosh, I picked the wrong thing, or I'm going to mess this up. Carbs are not bad. Carbs are not off limits. We actually need them to have success fueling our body, having energy, and getting results. So look at the list. 2B Mindset's going to talk to you about Kelly's FFC. Am I saying that right? It's the fibrous carbohydrates. So look at her list if you're following that. And if you're on the containers, the yellow list, and simply again, have 4 carbs you like. For me, I'm a microwave fan. I will buy the brown rice microwavable, 3 minutes in the microwave and it's ready to go. Portion it out, move on. If you're going to have pasta with your family, that's fine. Make your pasta, portion it again. That's another carb you can have. If you're looking for the lower option of calories on tortillas, go with the smaller corn tortillas. Then you can do a variety of things with them, include them in your breakfast if you want, or tacos at any point in the day. Dave's Killer Bread. I love the 70-calorie one because then I have 2 slices and it's that like mind trick, which Alana teaches you a lot of awesome mind tricks with food. So you satisfy your brain thinking, oh, look, I get a full sandwich, because you can have 2 slices of 70-calorie bread for a full sandwich versus maybe 1 slice. So I want you guys just to take a minute and think of what are your favorite 4 veggies, fruits, proteins, carbs, all the things, and then stick with it. Just give us like a week or 2 of having some of your favorite things ready to go. It's going to make life so much easier. And I know Kelly is really good at having different ways of using our Shakeology, because it's not just a shake that we blend. There's other things. So I'll have Kelly give you all her tips and tricks because she's, I think, the best at it.
Thanks. It's funny because, it's just taken me time to figure out what works for me and our family. Like I made last night, it was pumpkin vanilla muffins. So vanilla Shakeology muffins. And I haven't made those in a while, but if you're wondering where I get these recipes, you guys, what I do, and if you're not following me on Pinterest, you can go ahead and do that. But I find like anything that I love, but I want to make it healthy. I've learned a trick. God, I can't talk. A trick. And that is to anytime that you're like, I love, let's say you love mac and cheese or you love pumpkin muffins and you want to make it healthier. So all you have to do is put healthy in front of it or at the end of whatever you're searching. So I did vanilla Shakeology and pumpkin muffins, and a link came up for 21-day fix pumpkin vanilla Shakeology muffins. So I am not the one that's creating these. I should be using more of the ones that Autumn shares and, you know, on BOD, like those recipes. But over the years, I'm just stuck in my way and it works, but I like to use Pinterest. So I go to Pinterest and I accumulate meals that are super easy to make. So a couple of things that I do is I try to shoot for one crock pot meal a week. So like Kim said, you know, if there is a busy night that you know that your kids are going to be in sports late, or it's just a hectic day, you're finding that Monday or Wednesday is always a hectic day. We'll make that your day of a crock pot meal. So a lot of times I do like shredded chicken in the crock pot, taco night, even meatloaf. I'll make turkey meatloaf in the crock pot. I'm making that tomorrow night. And then I do a lot of one pan meals. So one of my meals this week, I already have it down, is it's a sausage and veggie one pan meal. And to me, that is just, it's so easy. I get all my veggies pre-cut. So I get a bag of broccoli, maybe I chop up some onion, and then, you know, I'll add other veggies that I might have that might be going bad. So that's when you just have to make sure that you have healthy foods stocked and ready, because if you don't, that's when it becomes really easy to kind of go off track. Like, well, I don't have anything healthy. I didn't plan for the week. I didn't plan for today. And then you go back to your old habits, right? So what I want to make sure that you do is, and Kim said this already, but like, I am not someone who plans and preps all of my meals for the entire week. I plan, I mean, I have it out what I want to make. And if you're in my group, I posted my meal plan with links to those dinner recipes, but I like to have an idea of what I'm making for dinner and make sure that I have all the ingredients for those recipes. And then, I kind of just make it simple throughout the day. So I got a rotisserie chicken yesterday, and last night I took the chicken off of the rotisserie chicken, right? And I put it in a container. And so this can go either on my salads for the week, or if I want to make a chicken wrap. So I use like whole grain wraps or coconut wraps. But this is something, if you're like wanting to start simple, go get a rotisserie chicken so you don't have to do the cooking. And then I make, like I said, simple things. So I always have like healthy protein, lean meats. So for example, I have my sausage that I'm gonna be using. I have ground beef. I have chicken breasts. And you guys, if I find that I don't use these for the week, I'll just freeze it. And then I can use it for next week if I think it's gonna go bad. A few other things that I always make, like Kim already said, I'm one of those people that like, if it's working, don't feel like you need to fix it, right? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And here are my mason jars that I make my overnight oats in. I have this honestly every single day. It's a healthy fiber-filled carb. And I always share that recipe. It's also in my Instagram if you go to my highlights. So I have that. I make hard-boiled eggs. I'm all about keeping it really simple and easy for me so I can grab and go. I'm a busy mom of 4. Don't use that as an excuse that you're busy at work, that you have kids, because you know what? You're always going to be stuck in those excuses if you don't say, you know what? No, I'm in control. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to stock up on healthy foods, and I'm just going to plan out a few meals. Don't feel like you have to have it all done ahead of time. I don't have my meal prepped for tonight, but I have the ingredients for it, right? And I know it's going to be simple. It's a chicken stir fry with some vegetables that are already cut. So I just put it in one pan, cut the chicken up, and stir fry it. So simple. I always make sure that I buy enough fruit. So I'm someone who loves apples, and I also picked up some nectarines too because they just looked really good. And I will chop up a nectarine, put it in Greek yogurt as like a treat if I'm craving something sweet. And then a few other things I just wanted to show you that I always buy. Cauliflower rice. This is really good to have on the side for a meal. If you're like, I made my chicken, but what do I have on the side? You know what? Have cauliflower rice. You can add spices to it to make it a little bit, flavorful. And then I do cauliflower florets. These are frozen. And I add this to my shake. So instead of adding fruit all the time, because that's just added sugar, and maybe I want to have 2 fruits in the evening instead of in my shake, then I will just add, and I typically always add cauliflower florets. It just makes it a little bit thicker and you can't taste it. And if you're struggling with getting veggies in, this is a good way to sneak them in. And then make sure too, because this is where I find people, like I said, you think you're eating healthy. Are you looking at the label? So for example, I always get unsweetened almond milk. It's okay if it's vanilla flavored. This is original, but I a lot of times get vanilla flavored as long as it's less than 30 to 35 calories. And that's here is where you look for it, right? So per serving, 1 cup, 30 calories. When you go down here, carbs is 1 gram and there's 0 sugars. So I was looking the other day just to see what the regular one had. And I was like, why? I don't need 15 grams of sugar in my almond milk per serving, right? So that you don't want to drink your calories. And so I usually use this in my coffee, or I found this one because it's, fall. And there's all different kinds that you can find, you guys, that are healthier. But this one has 5 calories per serving and 0 carbs, 0 total sugars. So make sure that you're looking at the label, because that is where you can easily be eating your carbs, drinking your carbs and having extra additives like sugars and unnecessary things that you need for it to do the job. Okay. And then this is the Dave's Thin Slice Killer Bread. This is whole grain, and I don't stay away from carbs. I don't think you need to stay away from carbs. In fact, if you're having the wrong mentality that that's the way to lose weight. Carbs are good for you, but there are ways to have healthier carbs. So instead of doing flour tortillas, maybe you have taco night coming up, or you love when you go to the Mexican restaurant, get corn tortillas, or when you're home, just find some that are whole grain that you can buy at the store and use that instead. And then I always buy deli turkey. So I just get it from the deli section. I think this is really easy. If I don't have time to whip up anything, I will have deli turkey with just put it up in a wrap, or have it solo with some cheese. This is just light Havarti cheese. There's nothing is like, oh no, do not have that, right? I really feel like if you want to have cheese and you want to incorporate that, great, you can have cheese, but it's a matter of portioning it out and making sure that you're, having the healthier version of the foods that you like. Greek yogurt is a big one. So I usually buy this one. This is the 0% milk fat, but this is Greek yogurt. I love having this as like a little treat in the afternoon. Like I said, I mix it with sometimes like powdered peanut butter, and then I'll put a little bit of almond extract, a little bit of liquid stevia, mix it in with some fruit. And then let it settle. So I always say there's so many times when I'm like not thinking when I'm eating. And I know we all do this because we're busy. A lot of us are moms. A lot of us are multitasking. How many times are you sitting there scrolling or maybe doing something else as you're eating? You probably are not paying attention to and enjoying those bites that you're having. So when you're done, you're like, well, I'm not satisfied. And you go back for more. So I want all of you guys to just take a moment and go, you know what? This week, I'm going to practice being very mindful when I'm eating. I don't need to be looking at my phone. I don't need to be multitasking. I want to savor each bite. Okay. And there are times after I have a full meal and I'm like, I'm still hungry, and I waited and I drank water. All right, well, you know what? Have some more protein. Have some, carrots. think about how you can just incorporate the healthier foods instead of going for like the chips and crackers or your kids' goldfish or, the rest of your kids' mac and cheese on their plate, right? I know some of those habits have stuck with us and have accumulated over the years. So it's just a matter of being very mindful of what you're putting into your body. So any tricks to crave something sweet after dinner? Okay, so since you're following the 2B mindset, you're probably not going to want to hear this, but you're supposed to be done after you have your meal. So it's supposed to be dinner and done. That is probably the hardest part about the 2B mindset. I know you're like, dang it. So I would push your dinner out maybe to like 6. That is a hard one because I am someone who I definitely always end up having a little something. So I'll share what I have. So yes, herbal teas can help. Obviously, those are great. They're so boring to me that I don't get any fulfillment out of that. Maybe when it gets a little bit cooler, I'll be like, ooh, my pumpkin spice tea, and I'll warm it up, right? But right now, no, that's not what I'm having. I'm just being real. For me, what I'll do is either have like maybe a half a cup of protein yogurt, like the Greek yogurt, and put a little PB2 in there, powdered peanut butter. You can buy that on Amazon. They usually have it at grocery stores now. But I buy the big tub. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I buy this big old tub of PB2 because we go through it pretty fast. And I actually, Ilana, for the 2B mindset, she calls it her Wonder Whips. And I know we're sharing that recipe in our group this week, but if you look it up too, or search in the 2B mindset, search Wonder Whips, you're going to find an amazing recipe. And I make that a lot. So she said you could add whatever you want to it. But for me, I need a little bit more like fulfillment besides just Greek yogurt and powdered peanut butter. So like I said, I'll put maybe like a quarter of a chopped peach or nectarine in there, or add a few dark chocolate, like dark chocolates on it. Maybe like sprinkle 5 dark chocolates on it. I try, and I'll be honest with you, because here's our like dark chocolate that I get from Trader Joe's. And I have just found that the moment that I have a bite of this, I want more. Who else feels like when you have a bite of something sweet that you're like, dun, 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 you eat it and then you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to a little bit more, right? And then you do a little bit more. Next thing you know, you ate it like a half a bar of it and you're like, oh, dang it, right? So personally, it just depends on who you are. If you're good with like taking a little bit and being like, this is it, this is my treat for the night, that's it, great, go for it. But I have a hard time with doing that. I'm the same way with my kids' cookies. If I have one of their chocolate chip cookies, I usually have 2. So it just kind of depends on how disciplined you are. I'm trying to think what else I have for dessert. Sometimes actually I'll save Shakeology for it, and I'll make it really thick and not put any fruit in it. But I try to have that earlier than later. So Shakeology has been my like afternoon go-to. It curbs my sweet tooth at like 3 to 4 p.m. That way I'm not starving by the time dinner comes. And that's usually when we have all of our kids' activities. But if I save it for after dinner, like if we have dinner early, I'll have my Shakeology. Like I get excited knowing, okay, after dinner, I get to have Shakeology, and I'll have, usually just my chocolate vegan Shakeology. And sometimes I'll make it like a ice cream, make it really thick with a lot of ice and almond milk.
I'll say that I think that our cookies and creamy is a great one because it's really a nice mild flavor, and you can do it after dinner and make it really creamy, like Kelly said, just with extra ice. Or if you're still like me, I suck at getting all my veggies in. So if I throw in that frozen cauliflower, it's going to be an easy way to get the veggie in even later in the evening, if it's your like final wrap up your snacking night. And I think one more idea is watch your alcohol. I know you guys don't want to hear this, but as Kelly's talking, I'm like, it's the one thing that I find us women in general want to kind of minimize how often we're having the wine or the cocktails. And the truth is, if you really want to get better results, get really crystal clear on when you're going to have a drink and pull back when you don't need to have it. I mean, that's just the reality for most of us and our bodies. And so it's not to say you can't have it, because you can, but if you're really here for the next 21 days to see what you can achieve, I'm going to do way less drinking. I already started that about 10 days ago. But if you're going to have a drink, be super mindful about having only maybe 2 max, because they're going to take up your carbohydrates. If you're on portion fix, and just plan for when it's really important for you to be able to have that flexibility of having some drinks. And then the nights where you normally would have a drink because you want to unwind, or have a glass of wine because the kids went to sleep, that's time to kind of kick the habit. Just like we're talking about the sweets and the sugar, your alcohol is going to hinder your progress if you're not going to be willing to adapt how many drinks you're going to have per week. Don't you think, Kelly?
For sure. I know, like, Kim's really good about like, no, I'm not having any alcohol for the next 2 weeks. And I'm someone who I incorporate alcohol every week. I don't have it daily, but I, know like we have date night Thursday. I usually have 1 or 2 drinks between like 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. And I have maybe a couple of drinks on the weekend, depending on what we're doing. But I do think that's somewhere where you can be a little bit more aware, like, oh, well, this does count as a carb. So do I want to waste it? What do I want to have my carb as today? And I always say, like, have some guidelines and structure. So for me, I'm like, I just don't want to drink, Monday through Wednesday. That's not very many days. That's so funny. But I like, usually Nick and I say too, like, if we're not doing anything one night and it's just us, like sometimes he'll make skinny margaritas and I'll have one, right? Or there's some nights where I'm like, you know what, let's just have our like LaCroix and put it in a fancy cup with ice and lemon, right? You can do those type of things too. But
oh yeah, same thing at a party, because I know this comes up with a lot of the people who are newer to all of this, and they do love to go to their friends and barbecues and socialize on weekends. I know that if you're trying to slow down the amount of drinks and you're normally, let's say with friends, and you're going to have like 4 drinks in the night, but really you want to keep it to 2, keep a cup in your hand and alternate from alcoholic drink to, like Kelly said, a LaCroix. No one's going to know that you're not having another drink with them at the moment. You're going to have something physical in your hand. You're going to still be involved in like the social part of it, but it just really helps you slow down the intake of alcohol when you find that, gosh, I'm good during the week, and then weekends come and I'm so used to being with my friends and I had 4 drinks, and then the next night I had 4, and then you show up on Monday and you're going to notice the scale didn't budge, or maybe it went up. So Autumn talks about this, like, just swap it, do an alcoholic drink and then whatever, water, LaCroix, and just see how that feels for you guys.
Yeah, so I want to make sure we open it up if you guys have any questions specifically. I know some of you have already asked some questions, but anything else? Don't be shy.
Oh yeah, so tracking your workout in the app, 100%. That is right there. This is Kathleen was asking. There's 2 things that can happen. One, you go to the tab at the bottom that says tracking and you manually enter the workout you did and the photo, which I prefer doing that because then the group will see my comments in our thread. Or if you have it automatically syncing with your smart TV or however you're streaming your workout, the minute you open your BOD app, it's going to actually pop up and say, do you want to log your workout? And so you kind of can't miss it. You should always have an opportunity to track your workout. And then it'll tell you at the end of the week, congrats, you did 6 workouts. It's really nice to see that every week.
Yeah, Kathleen is brand spanking new. I haven't even sent her share cart, but I was like, I know you're going to purchase it, so I'm going to go ahead and send you the link. So Kathleen, don't worry. Once I send you your initial email, you'll see what you have to do. But I love it that you were able to hop on. How big do you make plated? So that's when you're going to want to go to Ilana's videos and she will show you. I mean, it literally, she walks you through what it should look like. There's Nick, my husband. He's just making himself some food here behind me. So anyway, I would say definitely go to, I like that. Definitely go to the To Be mindset and listen to the videos, and she does show it. And then when you get the journal, it will show you, they always say it should be like your hand, a little bit larger than that. But I think that's the more difficult part with To Be mindset, is that it's like portion wise, you got to be really careful there. But in her videos, when I was following it, she really goes over like what each plate should look like and how much and stuff. So
has a book, you guys. So if you're a physical person and you want to see it in your hands, it's right there. You know what else I love? And so much of what we're doing here is going to connect with your mindset. If you look in this book, and I like this no matter if you're doing To Be mindset or not, my week at a glance, it asks you to put pen to paper and to write down what you want to be. Like, do you want to be organized? Do you want to be calm? Do you want to be mindful, like we talked about? So take a minute and go through this, because you guys all have this, your goals, what your personal goals are. And, you know, we're going to do this for 21 days, and anybody can do anything for 21 days. The workout, the workout, choose to do one, whatever that looks like, that's 2% of your day. So think of the remaining 98% of your day. It's your food and your water. That's a huge chunk. So think about the success you're going to have in 21 days of focusing way more on food and water. And these books are all here, as well as the app to help you track it. I'm checking if there's more questions. Let's see. Shakeology. Oh, yes. Thank you for asking this. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys real quick before we wrap up about these supplements. So this is always what comes up. Shakeology, it depends on how you mix it. 1 scoop or 1 packet of Shakeology is always going to be 1 protein serving. Then it's up to you to decide how you want to do it. Do you want to make it a snack? For me, a snack looks like water, ice, Shakeology, and a vegetable. That's a snack. That'll hold me over a couple hours. If I know I need it to be a more sustainable meal, I'm going to include more of the different food groups. So if you want it to be a meal, then I would say have your fruit, your veggie, your healthy fats, and also you can put in a carbohydrate if you need to sustain you longer. Something that's a fun trick is oats. You take your cooked oats and it blends into your shake really well, and you can get a yellow or carb container into your shake, especially if you're doing a long run, for example, or a big workout, or you've got a big gap between meals. That'll hold you over longer. Recover is another thing that comes up all the time if you guys are using Recover. Technically, it's a freebie. I know this is hard for some of you to understand because it has calories and it has protein, but if you're following the meal plans, the nutritionists have said Recover is a freebie. What I've told people is that if you're struggling to get all your containers in, hold on a second. Sorry, if you're struggling to get all your containers in, then I'm okay with you guys counting Recover as a protein because it's delicious and it's helpful for sore muscles. So if it's going to help you get your food in, use it as a protein, but it can be a freebie as well. And Energize is, again, a freebie. It does not break your fast. This is talked about as well in the videos. But if you are using Energize and you're still in your fasting window, it is so minimal as far as calories and even the sugar that's in there that it's okay to have your Energize, maybe do a workout, and then come back to having your first meal if you're in a fasting window. That's how I've been doing it. And Bevy as well. We talked about cravings. We talked about needing a sweet treat. We kind of didn't talk about what Bevy is here for. This is exactly what a lot of you have talked about, like after dinner, wanting something that's sweet, not wanting to kind of break your, food choices. Bevy was designed as a tea drink. It's not high in caffeine, so you can have it at night, and it should help you satisfy a sweet tooth and curb cravings. That's what it was designed for. I love it throughout the day, to be honest. There's lemon and pomegranate flavor. It helps me get more water in because sometimes I'm bored of just water. Again, the little packets are convenient. I throw them in my purse. I keep them in my work lunch bag. That way, if I'm not getting enough water in, I love this. And fun tip, you can mix Bevy and Energize with LaCroix. It is delicious. It's a nice way to kind of get a fun tasting drink in your day without just having it be water. So do that. And then the beach bars, we have 3 flavors. Those fit into your protein. I want to say, Kelly, do you remember offhand? I think it's a red, a half a yellow, and some kind of a nut, because there's nut butters in there. So that fits into everything we've been talking about. It's a portable snack. It doesn't require you to meal prep anything. Just throw it in your bag. Shakeology for kids. While it's okay every so often, it's really high in vitamin content, and it's like a multivitamin for adults. So be mindful that if your kids like Shakeology, you're better off giving them Daily Sunshine, which is a vegan, gluten-free, pea protein drink. So it covers all the allergies that kids have. It's allergy friendly, and it's designed specifically for children and teenagers. And it's a little cheaper than Shakeology. So I know parents often are like, I don't want my kids having my Shakeology. That's mine. Give them Daily Sunshine. My kids love it. It helps them get probiotics and veggies in that scoop of protein. It's kind of like a one-stop shop for kids' nutrients and vitamins and probiotics. So Daily Sunshine is what I give my kids instead of Shakeology. If I have Shakeology and they want it sometimes, no big deal. I usually actually split 1 cookies and creamy between my 2 children, and I blend my kids' cookies and creamy with whole milk, because they're still drinking regular milk and they love it. And I think it's good. Like, get your kids involved in the kitchen, make them have fun making smoothies. My kids like to put a little whipped cream on top sometimes and sprinkles, and that kind of encourages them to participate in eating a healthier snack instead of the processed packaged things that we are all giving our kids. So I think those are the
just to go over Shakeology again, like I make muffins and I make it with Shakeology. My kids eat that. That's fine. It's not like it's going to harm them. And my kids will never have like a full shake. So it's like Sammy, my 3-year-old, he loves like watching me and helping me make my Shakeology. If he's home, he will have like, usually I put like this much in a cup. I'm not like worried about that. It is completely okay. It just has a lot of vitamins in it and nutrients that are good for him. So my kids aren't like making full blown shakes, but to have a little bit here and there, I mean, it's fine, even if that's daily. So I didn't want to go into like all the products like beach bars and all this, because it's like a lot of you guys don't have that. And if you do, then you know that like it's super easy to find where that fits in your eating plan. But we're excited. Hopefully this gave you a basic overview of the nutrition programs, where to find them. Again, if you are brand new, it might feel like, where do I go? But just know everything is on the BOD app. And then if you do want to print anything out, all those tools that are there for you, because if you're a visual person like me, and I always feel good when I get to like physically like watch myself cross off the calendar days for my workout program, and then also with the nutrition plan. Just make sure that you go to beachbodyondemand.com, like I just showed you, and where you can find all the trackers and PDFs and stuff that you might need. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being on. Kim and I appreciate it. And we'll also have the recording of this if you missed any part of it. And yeah.
Thanks.
You know what? Here, I'm going to do a quick like boomerang of us.
Yeah.
This is kind of our first ever meeting like this. So hopefully it was helpful. We'll plan on doing them maybe once a month, just to get anyone that's new in our groups kind of just more acclimated to the program and stuff. So, all right, guys, ready? Okay, hold on. I'm going to do boomerang. Okay, ready? Yay. Awesome. Okay, guys, thanks for being on.
Bye.